Hello, Jamie Harding here, and we are live on the ground in Chicago, and I'm joined by Kelli-Dawn Hamilton, who is the CEO of the Jamaica Special Economic Zone Authority. Kelly, thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you for having me, Jamie.
So among the many conversations that are happening on the ground today, some of the current disruptions in the geopolitical environment are front of mind for many, and I know an important topic to you is the nearshoring conversation. Could you give me a sense of how that conversation is developing in the market and some of the factors that supply chain leaders should be paying attention to right now?
So we know what's happening in this space. There's a little uncertainty, a lot of changes, and so how we do business has to change as well, and speed is an important part of that as we pivot to try to ensure that we bolster our supply chains and we respond to markets, and we are ensuring that the consumer gets the goods at a reasonable price. That's critical. Now for us at the Jamaica Special Economic Zone Authority and Jamaica in general, our objective really is to facilitate those companies that are looking at nearshoring. Jamaica offers an opportunity for companies to diversify their supply chains. We are 90 minutes from the US by airplane. We are 3 days by ship. So we're relatively close to this market. And so in order to hedge against things like, natural disasters, anything that can disrupt your supply chain, physically, Jamaica is that location. Now, as we look at the tariff situation, Jamaica becomes an even more compelling case because of what the implications are for us. Jamaica currently has a trade agreement through the Caribbean Basin Initiative with the US, and we are one of the lower taxed countries at 10%. And so our rates in terms of goods coming out of Jamaica are competitive for the US market as well. And so that's another area for companies to look at, using Jamaica as that nearshore location, as well as using Jamaica to conduct value-added activities for their goods. So that is the trend for us. That's where we are honing in on in terms of our competitive edge. And so the conversations here yesterday and today have been very good in terms of interest in Jamaica as that key location.
Fantastic. And there are a lot of companies that are looking to nearshore, onshore, or use strategies similarly to protect their supply chains. What kind of guidance do you give to leaders who are looking at strategies, and what are the differential advantages that you think Jamaica can offer in this context?
So what is important is a destination that has the regulatory readiness to manage companies coming in. Jamaica has a special economic zone regime that has been tried and tested. We provide incentives to companies, fiscal and facilitatory incentives. So on the fiscal side, we're providing a low corporate income tax rate, 0% duty on imports, no value added tax for transactions that occur in the zone. We also do facilitation, so it's hand-holding. No company that comes to us, and we currently have 114 companies operating in our zone, none of them are the same. And we're spanning a range of sectors, from services to goods, from logistics, warehousing, transshipment, to manufacturing, agro-processing, business process outsourcing, knowledge process outsourcing, a range of sectors, Jamie. And so for us, we ensure that we are working in tandem with our clients to understand their needs. We get into their business because as policymakers, it's important for us to not only be reactive to what our clients are facing, but proactive in order to serve and facilitate them. So that is a part and parcel of what we do. Additionally, in going to market, we, the government of Jamaica, we attend events like these to sell on behalf of our clients. And so getting to know the client and understand what it is they're trying to accomplish, what their business model is critical to that side of the business as well. So while we regulate, we facilitate. And we like to say that we facilitate through our regulations. So we're not just a regulator in the traditional sense, but we're a partner in business.
Fantastic. And you talked about the importance of being proactive there and not just reactive. And this is an ever-changing landscape, it seems, at the moment. So How do you track how this landscape is changing, and how can those partnerships help partners to overcome the changeable environment which we're living through?
That's a good question. So we have an internal mechanism in terms of the government, and we get our information through the official channels. But you know, sometimes those channels may be a little slower than the non-traditional channels of information. So what is important to us is keeping on top of the information coming out, and so the communication with persons on the ground is key, whether on our side or on the side from which the information is coming, in this case the US, right? Because a lot of policy changes are happening here. So what's critical is keeping in touch with suppliers as well as customers in order to understand what's affecting them. Of course, our trade analysts are continuously analyzing the impact of these policies on our companies, on our exporters and importers as well. So it's managing a number of things, but ensuring that we're working in lockstep with each other so that there is no lag and there's no information gap. So when we make our decisions, they're data-driven, they're evidence-based, and they're centered on the information that we have coming out.
Fantastic. And if we kind of bring it back to where we are today and some of the conversations that we're having on the ground, we're privileged to spend 2 days speaking to colleagues across the industry. What are the one or two key conversations or key takeaways that you would share with folks listening at home?
The key takeaway from me from the conversations with clients is that we have the tools to do that which 5 years ago we never had. AI has come in at a time when we need it the most because of just how quickly things are changing. And so I encourage persons to tap into that. But importantly, Jamie, from a Jamaica perspective, we play in the area of our competitive advantage, and for that it is that nearshoring and transshipment opportunity. And so I would encourage companies to look at that. About 47% of our multinational corporations have now diversified their supply chain portfolio, and Jamaica can be a tool that helps companies to do that. So that would be my key takeaway. Come to Jamaica. We are a business destination, we are your facilitator of choice, and we're your partner in business.
Fantastic. Kelli-Dawn, thank you so much for taking the time to chat with me today.
Thank you, Jamie. Thank you for having me.